I'm going to go through now is actually has some basis in reality. So a lot of what I present is based on experience, because I've always found that's probably the best way of actually presenting any kind of material. And just to kick that off with a bit of a why should I listen to Russell bit, one of the facts that this piece is based on is that about 60% of all business ideas that involve some form of change fail. And that's whether that's small business, medium size, or even big organizations. 60% of all change initiatives will fail. Is it any is it any wonder that anything gets done at all? So what I've done is I've put together a list of 7 things. And again, one of the things I learned when I started training, actually, well, before I started training, this was actually part of a course I was a delegate on, was this group leader asked us as a group of IT professionals to come up with a flip chart list of all the things we would have to do if we were to open a camel farm in Australia. And we sat as a group and just looked at this guy and went, what? We're IT people. What do we know about farming camels in Australia? And he immediately just said, well, okay, then what would you not do if you were going to open up a camel farm in Australia? And do you know what? We had a flip chart full of points in about 10 minutes. Just looking at it from that kind of reverse psychology perspective. And I thought, hey, that's a pretty good idea. And it's one that I deploy in a lot of different areas, like, 10 ways of failing an exam, for example, is quite an easy list to put together. Yeah. So so it's a kind of tactic I sometimes use whenever I'm presenting material. So this is a list of 7 things. The 7 deadly sins of business strategy, or in other words, how to cause your business strategy to fail in 7 easy to follow steps. Step number 1, never have a reason why. Don't think about why you're doing something in your business. It was your idea, so it must be the best idea in the world. And regardless of that, every bright idea you come across should be actioned on, because it certainly helps you to do stuff, because action is for heroes. Strategy is for losers. Never think about anything, just crack on and get it done. And anyway, it will stop all the people screaming at us for not doing anything, because we look like we just sat around doing nothing all day. So it will stop all those people screaming at us. So just crack on and get it done. And it's got to work. It was your idea and you are brilliant. You are the best business mind in the world. Certainly somewhere above the group that were on the last series of The Apprentice anyway. So just make it work. And after a while, you've put so much effort into it and thrown so much money at it, you've got to make it work. Regardless of the fact that you've probably lost sales and your productivity's plummeted by 50%, you've already paid for this, so you better use it. And nobody wants to hear about your problems either, whether or not you've actually got issues or whether or not you just think things might just happen. Everything's doable for you. You're the best. Nothing's impossible. And anyway, technology will answer all of your questions if it all starts to go a little bit off course. As I say, strategies for losers, actions for heroes. Never think about why you want to do something new in your business, the return on the investment, or whether or not you can actually achieve what you're trying to achieve. They never have a reason why.
Thank you.
Step number 2.
Thank you, everyone.
Cheers, John. Step number 2, ignore the past. I mean, what can history teach you anyway? It's done. It's gone. It's in the past. So forget it. Every idea you've ever had is unique. So the one that you've just had to drive you towards your goals is going to be a completely new scenario for you. So it's a waste of time thinking about your past experiences to guide you around the pitfalls on this one. And I'm not just talking about your own personal experience here, but I'm also talking about what else has happened in your business or in your industry or in any other organization. Never research outside your own business. What could possibly have happened in somebody else's business that could help you on yours? And while you're doing your current change, while you're doing your current project, if you like, don't waste your time recording what's gone well or what's not so well. I mean, you know, it's not like you would continue doing the good things, would it? Or correcting the errors that you've made. Errors. Did I not mention just now that you were the best business brain in the world? You're perfect all of the time. So you're not going to do anything wrong, are you? So it's pointless recording this stuff. Step number 3. This is a really important one. Keep your team in the dark. Have you not noticed how people love surprises? I mean, just look on the joy on somebody's face when you give them a present they weren't expecting. So why tell your team about anything? The people that you work with, it's much better to keep them in the dark and surprise them at the last minute. This is a great way of keeping up morale and enthusiasm. And don't tell anybody in your team what you're expecting them to do. Yeah, everybody naturally knows what to do anyway. And if you leave a task hanging around long enough, you know, like the sink full of dirty dishes, somebody's bound to do it at some point, isn't it? It's not as if nobody ends up doing it. Actually, the same goes towards communication as well. You know, it's all top secret until you're about to release something, until you're about to tell something. This saves so much time on admin. It saves so much time compiling reports and sending information to people. Why on earth would you want to do that anyway? Yeah, we're not going to listen to what they're going to say to us because we're the best, aren't we? And we're carrying on regardless anyway. Yeah, see point number 1. So, always keep your team in the dark. Where are we? Step 4. Is it step 4? Yeah, I think it's step 4. Once started, always finish. No idea that you ever put into practice should ever be reviewed, and nobody should ever doubt why its existence even started. Just crack on and deliver it. I mean, why would you question the decision that you made 3 or 4 years ago? It's not like anybody's going to eat a rare bat in China that's going to affect your business, is it? You know, why on earth would you question why you took a decision anyway? Why would you have decision points on the journey to reflect on why you're doing this particular change in your business towards your strategy? Yeah, I mean, it's not as if you're going to have a go, no go decision point because we're the best and we're going to crack on anyway because it's a wonderful idea. And it's only going to cause you more administration because what you're going to have then is smaller, more accurate plans for what's happening between these decision points. You'd have to update all of this information. You'd have to do all this. Did I mention planning was for losers earlier on? It's action that counts, isn't it? But you took this decision years ago, and obviously what you decide is the best because you're the best business brain that's ever been. Okay, so step number 5. I used to love this one. Micromanage wherever possible. Nobody likes being left on their own to do their work. Everybody loves having somebody watching them over their shoulder the whole time, directing their each and every move. Besides which, sin number 3, you are keeping everybody in the dark anyway, so no one's going to know what to do. So there's no point in leaving them on their own, really. People don't want to be responsible for their own decisions because actually they're fearful of making the wrong one because you're going to shout at them anyway. So much better to keep running backwards and forwards to me or to you as the person that started this to make every decision for them. After all, that's what you're there for. And you're going to have to drop everything on the operational side of the business to help you cope with all of these requests coming from your team. Well, that should be fine anyway, because your business operation has been in place for quite some time, so that can look after itself. Nothing ever goes wrong there, does it? Step number 6, some action. Action, action, action. Don't just sit there planning. Get on with it. Did I mention planning was for losers? Everybody knows that action creates work that creates output. Never mind what the output should look like, what it could do for you, or who will benefit from its use. Just do something to create some. Seriously, why would you ever want to think about the finished article? Just crack on and build it. There's no value in having even the slightest clue about all of the components you're going to have to build and create, the features that are going to be in your product, or the quality statements that need to be, or the quality standards, sorry, that need to be delivered or indeed adhered to. It's not as if this would help us identify the skills we need to create our outputs, or indeed doing the quality checking, or even if we had these skills in our business to start with. Quality is a waste of time anyway. Did I mention the fact that we were all perfect all of the time? So everything that we build is perfect. There's no need to do any of that quality checking stuff. Which leads us to step number 7. Keep doing it this way. Never, ever, ever look at an individual idea or an individual change to your business strategy and think about how to tailor your working methods to that unique situation. Remember that business case template that was about 200 pages long? I think we got it from the bank. The bank has put decades, if not hundreds of years, into thinking of the best possible template for a business case that there's ever been. And it's ended up at 200 pages long. So we're going to use it regardless of whether we're building a new shopping centre, IT system, or garden shed. Okay, that's what we're using. So never ever think. This really does help keep your admin levels really, really high. It keeps you busy from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. I mean, who on earth wants to relax? So all of this stuff will generate work for you. Yeah. And only by doing that can we maintain our high levels of stress and busyness. So there you have it. 7 easy to follow steps in how to get your business strategy wrong. Or how to ruin your business, I should say.